ball is, again, very close to that bottom corner pocket. I think we need to check if that table's level. It feels like there's a magnet in there for the 8-ball tonight, but just avoids a kissing off. And this is a funky looking start for Andrew Patchett.
Yeah, how about this? This feels a bit of deja vu, doesn't it, to the opening frame of the opening match, but harder. You know, this is tough. He's going to take the yellows on, though, and I guess the yellows are definitely doable. You can play position on one here. You'd like to stay high enough to be able to play position on the other one at the bottom of the table. Question mark, now we look at the overhead, is does the plant squeeze in? Probably. It can be made, but it's not guaranteed. If he's short, it's a poor shot. He needed to be on that.
He's just on it. No, he wasn't. Pulls back.
That's going to slow things down. That is really going to slow things down here.
Isn't it just?
The only slight problem with that for Andrew is that's given Carlos a free hit to get his really bad red out. Now I know that sounds strange because he's got two reds blocked by yellows there, and the reds, I think the red right at the top of the table does pass the yellow, but that's the only ball that he had on the table that was a real major issue that was going to be difficult to solve. He's just put it in the mix and he's happy to get deep into a tactical exchange here. But whilst that red was awkward at the bottom of the table, it was better for Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew mentioned how he felt one thing they needed to learn and improve and take into this season was when to go, when to not, and his tactical side will get a testing here. There's few better in a safety exchange than this man, though. One of the few players who would absolutely advocate a return to the old ways and the old rule sets, because the way he thought about the game was second to none.
Yeah, fabulous tactical brain. But that's what I think was so good to see from Karl, was that, you know, so he made a world final back when it was the, you know, at world rules, and he's gone and done it in international rules as well. And I think just shows you that he has the all-round game, but he knows that he becomes an even stronger player when it was, you know, rule set that we used to play with. I don't think he wanted to pot that first ball, just the way he was looking around the table. There was no benefit to him to actually make it. He was trying to just kind of get it in front of the 8-ball.
Yeah, and I think that shot there sort of showed it, really. That it all felt a little half-hearted, didn't it, really? Oh, that's a very, very good shot.
It is if that yellow goes at the bottom. If it doesn't go at the bottom, then it's, well, he's asking a very big question of himself, because he's opened up the reds.
Does that yellow go? That is the key question in this frame.
I don't think it does. I don't think it does at all. We'll find out. No, he's going to have to play underneath it, and he is looking underneath it.
Heck of a shot, mind. He's a long way short.
Yeah. It's one of those situations that Karl was sat there thinking, yeah, you carry on. And look, Andrew might still pull out a shot here and win the frame, but percentage play will say that Karl will be very happy to watch him go about a layout like this.
Can he find it? No, I just slid quite a lot on him.
I just wonder if there was an argument. I don't know. I did see it back, whether he could have played the long double or if he really forced it to play the long treble. I don't think it was makeable, of course, but I was thinking more about as a sort of safety net, that good things can happen if you got the yellow into that pocket, maybe block out the 8-ball, maybe make it awkward for Karl. He's sort of made it awkward for Karl anyway, but Karl's got the number advantage here.
Yeah, Karl could play this frame as long as he wanted in this scenario.
I think the red still goes though, so you can just go about your finish. I don't think he needs to pull back. Doesn't need to move the one that's most awkward on the cushion, but has to clear the pocket for it first. Well, he's decided to move it, and did he need to do that? Now it's awkward.
Yeah, he probably saw it as a little bit of a free go, but it's about as badly as he could be.
For me, I just think, assuming the red pass, you know, the two reds at the top pass, you know, the bottom one passes the other one to the corner, you just play on the one at the top. You've got lots of margin of error to land nicely, and you're almost guaranteeing yourself landing on the. Oh, he's going to get away with it. No, he isn't. You're almost guaranteed you're going to be good on that ball down the cushion when you're not going to miss it. Then if you land good, so really surprised he made that choice. Obviously, easy to say when it goes wrong for him, but it's a big error from Karl Sutton.
Yeah, what a turn up for Andrew Patchett. He's going to steal this one. And there's a 1-0 lead for the Yorkshireman.
It's not the first frame of the night. Does Karl play that shot? Is it one of those that you kind of trying to feel your way in and you don't want to put yourself under pressure with an awkward ball down the cushion? I'm convinced that if Karl doesn't move that ball, he wins the frame every time. I really do believe that. He's such a good cueist, and assuming, like I say, there's two balls at the top past each other independently, then I don't see a way where he doesn't land nicely on that ball.
Already in this match feels like a big break now for Karl Sutton, having made that mistake. That was a frame that he should have won 100 times out of 100, really.
That's a good sign for him, even if he doesn't make a ball, and obviously it's not great he's not made a ball because Andrew Patchett has the first opportunity here, but he struck this break well. He controlled the cue ball well.
Yeah, can't ask for much more than that, can you, if you can't?
Yeah, I guess just on replay, because he just got a touch aside on it, sort of spinning on it. He got the square contact on the front ball, but did come across it a touch, but so often we see him bring those centre pockets into play, and on this occasion he squared up the front ball, which is important. But I guess the most important thing is you've got to make a ball.
Yellow ball's in play.
Yellow at the top of the table, big problem. Yellow just to the right of it, of course, is a good breaker ball. Can he play on that now? Can certainly get a better angle to do it this time round. It's actually really awkward because you can go into this, use the top cushion into it. Not guaranteed to come out nicely though. I think odds are against it coming out well. That's why he's played it with pace.
Yeah, he was almost trying to manufacture something there that might not have been. And I don't know if it's gone all that well for him. He might have a double and that's it. Hell of a shot though.
Yeah, that will do. He might have actually landed a touch straight here.
You could argue he's unlucky again, yeah.
Yeah, does he? Well, I'll tell you what he's looking at here. He's looking at topping through and leaving the one cushion to kick out the final yellow past the 8 ball because he's so straight on this. I mean, he could always play yellow off yellow, but where's the yellow going to go? You just don't know. So I think that's what he's thinking.
Gun barrel straight on that yellow just there. So, well, it's an exhibition finish this from Andrew Patchett. Been around the houses. A touch unlucky, he's been forced into it, but gets this. It's one for the highlight reel, but not to be.
Yeah, that's maybe came a little bit too far down the table, so it's a little bit tighter to play the shot he wanted to than perhaps he was planning. I was just thinking if he gets the yellow over the pocket, leaves the cue ball down on the bottom cushion, he's certainly asking a question of Karl, who, you know, obviously had a tricky counter clearance in the last that he didn't make, but
Well, it's almost certainly a part of his thinking. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't just pure naked aggression, was it? There was an element of match play in there as well.
If he gets the yellow and not the foul, good things can happen there, whether he makes the ball or leaves it awkward for Karl. But the foul is just given Karl a free hit now to put what happened in the opening frame out of his mind and get going tonight.
Yeah, he'll need to. Karl in qualifying through last year's first group stage was pretty much flawless. It was one of the best performances of any of the 16 qualifiers through last season's Champions League first rounds. He was exceptional. He's probably already made one mistake more tonight than he did in the entirety of that group around about this time last year. A chance just to get his arm going and get a sense for the cue ball out there.
I was thinking that may have been a touch of that in the way he played the clearance here.
Off and running. It's 1-1.
Yeah, an interesting one to look back on for Andrew there. Obviously, tricky layout because of one ball. It took him a couple of balls to get to a position. What was it? 3 shots in before he could play the breaker shot, and then the breaker shot was kind of like asking for, it to go well. It wasn't guaranteed. Does he look back on a frame like that and think, is there a better way? What could I do differently to win that frame?
Has the break back. 8 minutes left. 1 each. Oh, that 8 ball was so close. We are going to have something of a check, because it's been riding that bottom left corner pocket, I think 4 or 5 times now already tonight, and it gets completely blocked off. That is in. Off a miss hit as well, by the way.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that what's going to happen when Andrew plays Chris, because Chris sent it down there twice and then gave the right centre a little bit of a go as well, and Andrew's been down there twice. It's a little bit short, wants to deal with the red at the top of the table and can't. It doesn't have a shot down the table, so similar shot to the one that went wrong in the previous frame by the looks of things.
Yeah, that's one way you've got a bit more margin of error there. He's a long way short, really, of where he wanted to be. He's played an excellent recovery. Did he play a cue ball?
No, he didn't want that to go in at all. He was just trying to get that over and block off a pocket, which I know blocking pockets isn't necessarily the greatest way to go tactically, but in that situation, he's not going to potentially leave the easiest of loss of turns.
Tough couple of breaks for Andrew Patchett in the last 2 frames.
So does this squeeze in to open up the pocket? By the looks of things, it does. Off the bottom jaw into the red, open everything up. It actually wouldn't open everything up particularly well. Still have to work a good finish.
Yeah, that's why I wonder, is he playing on going into the yellow and red above the yellow now? He just tries to play a little bit of short position almost.
Yeah, he wanted the yellow to block the 8 ball still, just to make sure, but he knew where he was putting the cue ball, that he wasn't leaving a pot on. Worst case scenario, he was leaving a double, and even that, it looks like he's blocked that off as well. So all in all, very good shot from Karl. And a very good response.
Yeah, excellent shot. You'd always rather be at the table. You'd always rather have more balls than your opponents in a safety exchange. Karl Sutton has both of those things going in his favour. Got to work hard from here though. 5.5 left.
Yeah, big visit, big frame. Do you want to be potting balls here? Was he trying to? That's the question. I honestly don't know.
I don't think so.
I mean, but if you're going to play safe, is that a good option, what he's done? I suppose he's just bumping that ball over the pocket and hoping that Andrew will do what he's just done, which is pot a ball. That is not going to help Andrew at all.
He's shaking his head here, Andrew. That is twice in this frame that he's played a shot with zero expectation of potting it and has played it beautifully. It's almost as if instinct has taken over and he's just flying him in. It's the last thing he wanted. He's in real trouble now.
15-second shot.
So loss of turn. If he gets the cue ball right and gets the snooker, then Carlos has taken control of the frame. Doesn't have to play it, of course, if he doesn't like the fact that he may not, he might leave a double on. Doesn't have to take it on right now. And that for me is the reason why he hasn't, is that he felt if he plays the loss of turn, and he could easily leave the double on, he doesn't quite get the cue ball right.
Would have been just Patchett's luck to have potted that red into the right centre this frame, wouldn't it? Decent hit though.
Interesting decision still for Carlos here, because if that red goes an extra 2 rolls up the table and is really awkward, he'd play the loss of turn every time. He can play the loss of turn now, but he might be leaving some sort of kick shot or some sort of shot up the table if he doesn't quite get the cue ball right again. So it's not, he's got a bigger margin of error this time around than previous, but there's still element of risk in it. That's a very good shot. It's put Karl actually in a little bit of trouble, especially if the red still goes. If the red goes, if you can get to the potting angle of the red at the bottom of the table, then Karl's in trouble. Well, can you? Well, not from here. I actually don't know if it was quite on.
No, I don't, but if it was, Karl's had an unbelievable amount of run there. 15-second shot clock has rolled around quick. Well, he could.
Yeah, that's why Karl didn't want to play the loss of turn previously, because he was worried about leaving some sort of kick shot like that.
It does look tight, but obviously Andrew feels like it goes. Yeah. Well. Andrew Patchett wins 2 frames that ordinarily you feel against a player like Karl Sutton he had no right to win, but he leads 2 frames to 1, and he's played some really good shots in that rack there to get that victory over the line.
Excellent kick shot, wasn't it? But that's a second frame in the match, when he plays 3, that Karl will look back on and think, I should have won that frame. That was, did he miss it? Did he miss the boat? Did he miss? Sometimes you have to risk, I suppose. You could play that killer shot to, if he plays the loss of turn, I was saying why he wasn't going to play it, but if he plays that loss of turn, gets it right, then he wins the frame the next visit. Did he miss his opportunity to do that?
Going to the cut break. He's just trying to engineer something, whether that be a little bit of a different fortune from his first break of the night, which was hit well but dry, or whether that was to make the 8-ball get on the move. I'm not too sure, but either way, it's worked out better for him.
Needs that red to get out of the way. Oh, it's worked out well. Just bumps it far enough. It was actually a little bit awkward because that was so thin, it took away a lot of control. The yellows come out lovely, apart from the fact his first shot was awkward. Now, that's a really good last ball, the one to the left centre.
Yeah, isn't it just? Come out really nicely for him.
Just wondering whether Karl should slow it down to, he's still got to execute 4 shots, but in his own mind, this frame is exactly where he wants it to be. So slow it down to try and limit Patch's opportunity to counter. You basically want to use the beeps, make sure it gets down around that 30-second mark, sub 30, and you're guaranteeing the draw apart from a golden break.
Still got a couple of big shots to make. That one's simple. This one may not feel so much. This for all square.
Right.
Never in doubt. 2-2. Precisely 30 seconds remain. Andrew Patchett, it is worth pointing out, has got the 8 ball moving on both of his previous breaks. Something that I'm sure isn't lost on Karl.
Yeah, still a very, very good visit to the table, wasn't it? To do that under pressure, the match situation, and obviously the knowledge that, you know, in his own mind he probably has let a couple of frames go here.
Yeah, got the potential to be the one that got away for Andrew and a let-off for Karl this match. Draw isn't a terrible result for either player. Keeps the night in their own hands.
And Patchett's break. 2 frames.
And here's a cut break for Andrew Patchett. Keep an eye on this 8 ball.
It's a narrow cut break as well, which gets the 8 ball in motion more often than not.
Couldn't have come out with a much better split.
Oh wow, this is, oh, he's taken too long on this first shot. You just have to get down and go.
It had the potential to be almost like Gareth Potts-like in its finish, didn't it? That was all there. Just needed that first shot to see it. Andrew Patchett will really feel in that match in a lot of ways. They just missed the boat. Karl Sutton, you can tell, is ready to be out of there with a point. He steals one, really, does Carlos, and both players will take a point into round 2 of the fixtures tonight as the Champions League continues.